So what are you expecting this year?
Well, first, I think you're going to see some awfully happy shareholders. Look, Tesla share price up 40% just this year alone. Second, record revenues, 63.6 or $56.3 billion last year, growing to $87 billion this year. That's 62% year-over-year growth. No one in the auto industry is coming close to that. Second, profitability no one expected. Tesla's gross or net margins, 17%. The other majors like Volkswagen, Toyota, people who've been making cars for years, down at 6%. This will be their 12th consecutive quarter of profitability. That's awfully good news for investors, and 5 factories up running full bore. So it's no surprise to me that Tesla's flirting at $1 trillion valuation. We'll see if we can hold it. But the big question today is going to be about corporate governance, ESG. How does Tesla deliver on those issues? It should be fascinating.
Meantime, we are entering a really tough phase potentially in the economy. Even Elon Musk has said he has a super bad feeling about it. How does Tesla fare in a recession? Are people necessarily dropping money on new electric cars?
Well, the fact of the matter is Tesla's posting record sales. So if you want to buy a Tesla today, you're looking at a year-long wait. There is huge demand. The interesting thing is, how many can you actually manufacture? And that's where it gets interesting. I think Tesla's going to go from 925,000 vehicles sold in 2021 to 1.5 million this year. Other firms, GM, Ford, aren't selling a fraction of that. So the real question is, who's figured out supply chain? Who has factories up and running? Again, Tesla, 5 factories, Reno, Fremont, California, Texas, Germany, China, all gearing up to full capacity. Most of the others have yet to break ground. So there's a lot of ground to catch up. We'll see how the others do.
So is production still the main challenge, and how much does that have to do with continuing supply chain issues?
Well, they're all intertwined. And again, I served on the board at Tesla 10 years ago. I think we made a lot of the mistakes in the book, but they've grown up and they're hitting the ground running now. Plus, they have long-term supply chain relationships in place. That's why they're able to grow literally 60, 70% a year. It's heartbreaking to watch firms like Lucid that I'm really pulling for. They make a beautiful car, but they said they would produce 20,000 units this year. That's a pittance. Then they dropped it to 12. Now they've dropped it to 6. So tough news for Lucid, but a reminder for all of us, it's a little harder to make electric vehicles than you might think. It took Tesla 10 years to get where they are today. It's going to be hard for others to catch up. We'll see how General Motors, Ford, and the others do.
Well, let's talk about the competition. Which competitor are you most optimistic about? And, which of these companies are really going to give Tesla potentially a run for its money?
Well, let's start at the beginning. Mary Barra at General Motors has said, we're going to catch up with Tesla by 2025. They're not. They've produced, first half of the year, 8,000 electric cars. They're way behind. They're struggling with supply chain, struggling with manufacturing. Ford appears to be rising from the ashes. They're going to have sold 25,000 cars already this year with the Ford 150s, a great car, and the Mustang. So they're rising from the ashes, while General Motors is literally and figuratively trying to put out fires. So as much as I'm pulling for GM and Ford, it doesn't look like they're going to be the real challenger anytime soon. Volkswagen has a whole head of steam up. They're going to do over 220,000 EVs first half of the year, more by year end. They're producing about half what Tesla is, but 8 times more than Ford and GM combined. So VW is in a strong place. Global supply chain, manufacturing facilities on every continent, deep pockets. If anybody has a shot to catch Tesla in the short term, it's Volkswagen. Longer term, don't count out the Chinese, the world's largest producer of batteries, Chinese government subsidizing their batteries, currently producing more than half the EVs in the world, and it's the biggest auto market. So Chinese are going to come on quicker than people think in the near term. I'm just hoping as many American companies make the cut as possible. Don't forget, 30 new EV companies have come into the market in the last year, precisely the time the economy is slowing down. Expect a shakeout in the marketplace. Be careful, you're betting on winners, not the losers.
Meantime, you've got the Twitter sideshow going on for Elon Musk, and even you, when we last spoke about this, were not happy about his behavior. It's been a huge distraction. Many Tesla shareholders and Tesla owners aren't happy about it. How much do you think that has hurt the brand? Has that hurt the Tesla brand? Has it hurt the Elon Musk brand?
Well, look, it's a tale of two cities. On the one hand, you've got a nearly $1 trillion company, the most powerful brand in the auto world, with zero marketing budget. If anybody had told you that would happen 5 years ago, they would have said that's a dream come true. But I think it could be too much of a good thing. And I think for many people, including the SEC, it appears to be something of a distraction, and it's something that I think needs to be changed. I think over time, people need to realize this is a multi-trillion-dollar smackdown. Who's going to control the global EV market, not just for cars, but trucks as well? And who's going to control the next big thing, which is the move to autonomous vehicles? This is going to be cutthroat competition. I think Tesla needs to throw every ounce of focus they can at staying in the driver's seat. Let me give you one example. Tesla has had the best, longest range, least expensive, most reliable batteries in the sector. They're now developing their new revolutionary 4680 battery composition that should be better at range, cheaper and greener than anything ever made. But CATL, the world's biggest battery manufacturer in China, claims to have some leapfrog advantages. This is going to be a fascinating smackdown. Tesla's going to need all the focus they can get. I'd keep the sideshows to a minimum. Whoever wins this next round is going to have done something special. If Tesla wins the autonomous race, it could be a $2 trillion company. That would be quite a trick.